So our first story is an update to the Mike Perry situation where he knocked out an old man. The UFC has said they will not offer Mike Perry any fights until he gets professional help. The UFC has released this official statement on Perry. They said, UFC is aware and troubled by the video that was released last night concerning Mike Perry. The conduct displayed by Perry is not reflective of that of our organization. Perry apologized for his behavior and acknowledged he was disappointed with himself that his actions may have related to alcohol abuse, and has informed the UFC that he has committed to immediately seeking professional treatment, including substance and behavior counseling. At this time, UFC has informed Perry that he will not be offered a bout, and the parties agree to evaluate next steps for Perry following the completion of his treatment program. Now moving on, and still speaking of the UFC, Venum has been officially confirmed to replace Reebok as the exclusive outfitting partner. We'll be seeing Venum gear in April 2021 when the Reebok deal expires. Our next story comes from the UFC 251 early weigh-ins. All fighters on the main card made weight. Here are the clips from the early weigh-ins.
170 for the welterweight champion of the world, Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman. 170 pounds for the challenger, Jorge Masvidal. 145 pounds for the featherweight champion of the world, Alexander Volkanovski. 145 pounds for Max Blessed Holloway. 135 for Pure Drop No Mercy Young. That's 135 pounds and fighting for the bantamweight title tomorrow night, Jose Aldo. 115 pounds for Jessica Andrade. 116 for Rose Dagnano Nunez. 126 for Paige 12 Gauge Van Zandt. 126 pounds for Amanda Rivas.
Prior to weighing in, Masvidal posted this photo of him cutting weight to his Instagram with the caption #TheResurrection, as well as this video of him in a pool. Our next story comes from Dana White, who challenges Jon Jones to release how much he's been paid by the UFC. Speaking on First Take, Dana says Jon Jones is upset that he's not making the same money as Khabib or Conor.
Yeah, well, that's nothing new. That's been going on for 20 years. Guys are always going to complain about money. Everybody feels like they're not being paid enough. And if you ask these guys, they'll tell you they're the biggest star in the UFC. Well, I can tell you this, the guys who really are the biggest stars in the UFC and the guys that bring in the money are the guys that are being paid. And, you know, some of these guys hear what a Conor McGregor or a Khabib is making, and they feel they should be making that kind of money too, which isn't the case. And I've made it very clear. Ask Jon Jones what he's made. Ask Jon Jones how much he's getting paid. See what he tells you, and he won't tell you. He won't tell you what he's getting paid, because I think the narrative changes a lot when you find out what Jon Jones makes. But Jon Jones feels he's underpaid. I've said it many times. I think Jon Jones is the GOAT. I think he's the greatest in the sport, you know, within the last however many years. And, you know, he doesn't make the money that a Conor and a Khabib make, and he doesn't like that.
Our next story comes from Jorge Masvidal, who says Kamaru Usman crossed the line with this trash talk. Speaking on the UFC 251 media day, Masvidal says that Usman was talking about his butthole and what he was going to do to it.
Like I said in the Askren fight before and after, it's never personal. It's always bitten it. And it's just people that I probably didn't get along too well with, you know. But Usman, for a fact, has crossed lines, and no other competitor that I've fought have talked about, you know. He's talked about things he's gonna do to my butthole, which I don't understand why he's talking about my butthole. He's talking about my ethnicity, whether I'm this or that. He's telling people that I'm saying I'm God. You can't find the video or a Twitter thing or nothing ever saying that I said I'm God. So this guy's just doing a lot of things that are gonna cause him to get hurt in a very violent way. And if the referee trips on the way to stopping me and I get to get a couple extra punches, I wouldn't mind. They're going to be a little bit more on the super necessary punches. It's going to be something a little special around, you know. I'm going to have to go into my fast forward speed and truly send this guy to another plane.
Our next story comes from Tony Ferguson, who confirmed on Twitter that he's been cleared for training and is looking to get a fight booked so he can make his road back to a title. Our next story comes from Tyron Woodley, who says he's interested in fighting Donald Cowboy Cerrone next. Woodley commented on ESPN MMA's post, captioned, "Ben Askren believes Covington is being a poser at this point." Woodley replied to the post with this, "I was offered the Covington fight again Monday. I told them don't call unless they have his ink on a contract. Not playing games with him. At Ariel Helwani, if not him, I want a big name, juice, and something to get excited about like Cowboy Cerrone." Let me know in the comments if you want to see Woodley versus Cerrone. Our next story comes from Gilbert Burns, who is rooting for Kamaru Usman to win. Speaking to Brett Okamoto, Gilbert says if Jorge Masvidal wins the belt, then the division will become a circus.
I think it will be a hard fight for Masvidal, especially we know his lifestyle here in Florida. They might make it up for, for the TV, for you guys, but we know he got crazy. He doesn't eat good. I don't think he'll be in a good shape. I don't think. But as of right now, the way I see it's Kamaru not getting out of the strategy, go out there, take him down, smash him, make sure he get very tired, beat him up for 2-3 rounds, stay in his face. And I think Masvidal is tough enough to make to a decision, but I think Masvidal only chance will be in the first 2 rounds that he's gonna be fresh, and then he's very dangerous. He hits hard, not easy to get taken down. But I got Kamaru, and I want Kamaru to win. First of all, because I kind of like the guy. He's not anymore, but he used to be my training partner. So for sure, I got Kamaru. And if Masvidal wins too, the thing's gonna get crazy. We're gonna get circus on that division. He's gonna fight. Who else? I don't know who wanna fight. I think he's gonna fight Conor or maybe Nate Diaz. I think I don't think the division gonna run correctly, like with the number 1, number 2 guys fighting for the title. I think he's gonna make a mess. So that's why another thing that I want Kamaru to win too. And I think I'll be next. But if Masvidal wins, I know he's gonna be a mess of that division. Things gonna get crazy.
Our next story comes from Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who is rooting for Jorge Masvidal to win. Speaking to Mike Heck, Wonderboy reacts to Masvidal saying that he's one of his targets for after he wins the belt.
I would rather see this fight than the Burns fight, to be honest. I think this is more exciting. There's more beef. I think everybody in the division except for me has beef with this guy. Leon Edwards, the 3-piece in Minnesota, of course, Colby Covington, Usman, they about duked it out at I forgot where it was. But
Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl. That's right. So the guy's got beef with everybody. But we have history, me and him. He's the BMF, I'm the NMF. We fought. That was his last loss. So I at this moment, especially after what he said in the Arahwani interview, how he would like to defend the title against me, I'm rooting for him to win. For him to win, obviously it would be a faster road to the title for me. Either way, I'm not giving up on it. It's going to be a scrappy fight for sure. Masvidal definitely has the advantage in the stand-up area. He's faced some really good guys in the division, good grapplers such as Damian Maia, and that was controversial. That was a controversial loss. I think Damian Maia had his back for a long period of time, but usually when Damian Maia takes your back, it's over. So he fended him off with the best grappler in the division. So he's been training with Bo Nichols, 3-time Division I All-American. So he's prepared, man. He's prepared himself. So I'm looking to see, hopefully, just a barn burner this Saturday between these 2 guys.
Our next story comes from Kamaru Usman, who says Jorge Masvidal is the best opponent he's ever been matched up against. Speaking on the UFC 251 Media Day, Kamaru says he will be taking Jorge Masvidal serious and treat him accordingly.
He's the best. Out of each and every one of them, he's the best. He's the next guy in front of me. He's the toughest guy in front of me. So, I don't take him lightly. I'm going out there with all of that thoughts. The thought that he is the best opponent that I've faced to date. And I have to go out there and treat him accordingly. No, he's a very, very tough fighter. He's very skilled. There's a lot of things that he does well. He had an incredible 2019, great year, coming out and doing the things that he did and really kind of propelled him into the position that he's in. But my job is always to go out there and derail all of that. My previous opponents were doing the same. The one before that had 3 or 4 title defenses back to back, and I went out there and made him look like an amateur. And the last guy was on a 6-7 fight win streak, dominating performances, and I went out there and still got the job done. And nothing changes here. I understand that Jorge's tough. I understand that he's very skilled. And, I do believe that he believes he's going to come out and try to take my head off. I believe that. And I'm going to go out there. And like I said, I'm going to treat him accordingly. And I'm going to discipline him the appropriate way.
Our next story comes from Leon Edwards, who says he wants the winner of Usman versus Masvidal. Speaking on ESPN, Leon Edwards says he's done enough to deserve a title shot over Gilbert Burns.
I feel so. I've done enough work to prove my case. I'm on 8 fight win streak, second most to the current champion now, Usman. So I feel like I deserve a title shot. I only lost my opportunity because of coronavirus. Same as Burns, he lost the opportunity because of coronavirus. And I was the first person mentioned to get the fight. So why not put me in the place again to compete again? So I truly believe I deserve it over everyone.
And what do you think they end up doing with Burns?
Yeah, maybe giving Kobe, probably give him one more. Let him fight Kobe, and then I'll fight the winner of Saturday. And from that, we'll go from there. But I believe he should have one more fight.
That about wraps up the video for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Have a great day and peace.